Picture a quiet Sunday morning. You are standing at the bathroom sink, coffee going cold on the counter behind you, looking at a pair of silver candlesticks your mother left you. They used to gleam. Now they are dull and spotted. And you have tried 2 different products from the cleaning aisle, and neither one did much of anything. You feel like you are letting something down. Not just the candlesticks, but the memory attached to them. Or maybe it is not silverware at all. Maybe it is the cloudy headlights on your car, or the scuffed leather on your favorite shoes, or a water ring on the oak-side table you have had for 30 years. The problem is not dramatic, but it nags at you the way small household problems do. Here is what I have come to understand after years of paying close attention to this kind of thing. Most of the time, the answer is not a $30 specialty product in a fancy bottle. It is 2 things you almost certainly already have sitting in your bathroom right now: white toothpaste and a jar of petroleum jelly, what most folks just call Vaseline. Mixed together in the right way, they form one of the most quietly useful little pastes I have ever come across for household care. I want to walk you through exactly what this combination does, why it works the way it does, and at least 8 solid, practical ways you can put it to use around your home starting today. If you want to go deeper on any of this, there is an ebook linked in the description below that covers a whole range of old-fashioned, sensible home care methods. It is down there whenever you are ready. Now let us get into it. Before I show you anything, I want to clear up a couple of things that will not help you. First, gel toothpaste. I see folks reach for it all the time because it is what they happen to have on hand. Gel does not work for this. It looks like toothpaste, but it does not contain the mild abrasive particles that make white toothpaste useful for cleaning and polishing surfaces. What you want is plain white toothpaste, the basic, inexpensive kind. Not whitening formulas loaded with harsh chemicals, not charcoal toothpaste, not anything fancy. Plain white, a tube costs around $1. And petroleum jelly, again, the plain kind. Store brand works just as well as the name brand. A small jar runs you another $1 or so. Total investment, roughly $2. Keep that number in mind when I start telling you what this paste can do. Second thing I want to address: the idea that these 2 ingredients cancel each other out or that mixing them does something harmful. That concern is understandable, but it is not accurate. What happens when you combine plain white toothpaste with petroleum jelly is actually quite logical once you understand what each one brings to the table. Toothpaste contains very fine abrasive particles, usually something like hydrated silica or calcium carbonate, that are gentle enough for tooth enamel, which means they are gentle enough for most household surfaces you would want to polish. They lift dullness and light oxidation without scratching. Petroleum jelly is an occlusive, meaning it coats and protects whatever surface it touches. It also serves as a carrier, helping the abrasive particles spread evenly and giving you control over how hard you are working the surface. Together, they make a paste that cleans, polishes, and leaves a light protective layer in one step. That is genuinely useful. So here is how you make it. Squeeze about a tablespoon of plain white toothpaste into a small bowl or jar lid. Scoop out an equal amount of petroleum jelly, roughly a tablespoon. Mix them together with a toothpick or the handle of a spoon until you have a smooth, uniform paste. It should look a little like thick cream. That is it. That is your mixture. Now, let me walk you through what you can do with it. The first use, and one of the best, is polishing silver. If you have silverware, jewelry, candle holders, or decorative silver pieces that have gone dull or spotted, this paste will surprise you. Apply a small amount with a soft cloth or an old toothbrush. Work in gentle, circular motions for about 30 to 60 seconds on each piece. Then wipe it clean with a damp cloth, followed by a dry one. You will see tarnish lift away, and the surface will have a quiet, warm shine to it. Not that harsh metallic glare you sometimes get from aggressive commercial polishes. The petroleum jelly also leaves a very light protective film that slows future tarnishing. I have watched folks spend $20 on silver polish when this $2 paste does the same job. It genuinely does. To put a number on it, silver tarnish is primarily silver sulfide, a compound that forms when silver reacts with sulfur compounds in the air. The calcium carbonate in white toothpaste is just abrasive enough to break that sulfide layer loose from the surface without gouging the metal underneath. A brand like Colgate Regular or Arm & Hammer Essentials, the plain white varieties, priced at roughly $1 per tube at most grocery stores, will give you exactly what you need here. Nothing more complicated than that. The second use is headlight restoration. Cloudy, yellowed headlights are one of the most common complaints I hear from folks who have been driving the same car for 10 or 15 years. The cloudiness comes from UV oxidation of the plastic lens. Commercial headlight restoration kits run anywhere from $15 to $40. This paste costs you almost nothing. Clean the headlight first with soap and water and let it dry completely. Then apply the paste with a damp cloth and rub it in firm, circular motions for 2 to 3 minutes. Wipe it clean, step back, and look. You will likely see a noticeable improvement. It may not replace a full professional restoration on severely degraded lenses, and I want to be honest about that. If the headlights are deeply damaged, you may need more aggressive treatment. But for moderate cloudiness, this works remarkably well. A 2019 study published by the Toothpaste found that severely degraded headlights can reduce visibility by as much as 80% compared to new lenses, which makes this not just a cosmetic issue, but a genuine safety concern. Catching the oxidation early, when it is still at the moderate stage, and treating it with something as simple as this paste, can extend the useful life of your headlights by a year or two before you need to consider professional resurfacing. Third, leather shoes and leather goods. Scuffed leather is something most of us deal with, and it always seems to happen right before you need to look your best. This paste works as a gentle scuff remover and conditioner in one. Apply a small amount to the scuff with a soft cloth. Rub gently until the mark fades. Then buff the area with a clean, dry cloth. The petroleum jelly moisturizes the leather, which is genuinely good for it. Dry leather cracks over time, and a little conditioning goes a long way. This works on shoes, handbags, belts, leather-covered furniture, and even older leather-bound books you want to preserve. In my experience, the key is to use a very small amount and work it in slowly rather than slathering it on. Fourth, water rings on wood furniture. That white ring left behind by a glass or a cup of hot coffee is one of the most frustrating things in a home. The ring forms when moisture gets trapped in the finish of the wood. The fine abrasive in the toothpaste helps break that trapped moisture loose, while the petroleum jelly helps condition the wood finish as you work. Dab a small amount of paste directly on the ring. Rub gently with a soft cloth, moving with the grain of the wood. Check your progress frequently. You do not want to overwork it. In most cases, you will see the ring fade significantly within a minute or two. Wipe clean and buff lightly. I will be honest, very deep or old rings may not disappear entirely, but for the average watermark from everyday living, this is one of the simplest fixes I know. Oak, walnut, and maple finishes, particularly those sealed with a polyurethane topcoat, tend to respond especially well. The trapped moisture sits just beneath that topcoat, and the mild abrasion reaches it without stripping the protective layer entirely, which is exactly what you want. Fifth, minor scratches on painted surfaces. Light surface scratches on car paint, on painted walls, or on furniture, scratches that have not gone through the base coat, can often be reduced or practically eliminated with this paste. On car paint, apply a small amount with a microfiber cloth and rub gently in a circular motion. Wipe clean and inspect. For walls, test a small, hidden area first to make sure the paint finish can handle it. This is not a substitute for actual bodywork on deep car scratches, and I want to be clear about that. But for the everyday hairline scratches that accumulate over years of normal use, it is a reasonable and inexpensive approach. Sixth, chrome fixtures. Bathroom faucets, shower heads, cabinet handles, chrome surfaces around the house pick up water spots, soap scum, and dull patches over time. This paste is gentle enough to clean chrome without scratching the finish. Apply with a soft cloth, rub lightly, and rinse well with clean water. The petroleum jelly component leaves the surface with a slight sheen and actually helps repel future water spots to some degree. Your fixtures will look noticeably cleaner, and the whole process takes maybe 5 minutes per fixture. Seventh, removing scuffs from walls and baseboards. If you have light-colored walls or white baseboards, and many homes do, you know how quickly black scuff marks accumulate, especially around doorways and near the floor. A small amount of this paste on a cloth or soft sponge will usually lift those marks without taking the paint off the wall. Work gently and in small circles. Wipe clean with a barely damp cloth afterward. I have found this particularly useful on semi-gloss and satin finishes, which are common in hallways and kitchens. 8th, protecting and conditioning rubber seals. The rubber seals around car doors, refrigerator doors, and washing machines tend to dry out and crack over time, especially in climates with very cold winters or very dry summers. Petroleum jelly has long been used to condition rubber, and the mild cleaning action of the toothpaste mixed with it helps clean the seal at the same time you are conditioning it. Apply with an old toothbrush, work it into the rubber, then wipe away the excess. Do this a couple of times a year, and those seals will last considerably longer than they would otherwise. A failed refrigerator door seal, for instance, forces the compressor to run harder and longer to maintain temperature, something that shows up directly on your electricity bill and can shorten the life of the appliance itself. Replacing a refrigerator door gasket can run anywhere from $60 to $200, depending on the model. A jar of petroleum jelly and 5 minutes of attention twice a year is a much more agreeable alternative. If you want a more complete breakdown of household maintenance methods like this one, approaches that rely on common, inexpensive ingredients rather than specialty products, the guide linked in the description below lays it all out in detail. Worth having on hand. Now, a word about what this paste cannot do, because I believe in being straight with you. It will not fix deep scratches that have cut through multiple layers of paint. It will not repair cracked leather or badly damaged wood. It will not restore headlights that have been physically degraded down to the plastic itself. And I would be cautious using it on any surface you are unsure about. Always test a small, hidden area first, and work gently before committing to the whole surface. The worst thing you can do with any polishing method is rush it. Take your time, use light pressure, and check your progress as you go. If you have been finding value in this channel and want to keep learning practical, sensible approaches to home care and maintenance, consider subscribing. This is the kind of community where folks share what actually works, not what sounds impressive. We would love to have you with us. One more thing I want to address, because I think it is important. There is a whole industry built around convincing you that every household problem requires a specialized, expensive solution. A different cleaner for every surface. A different kit for every task. In my experience, that is mostly marketing, not wisdom. The people who kept houses in good shape for generations, our grandparents, their parents, worked with a small handful of versatile, reliable materials. Baking soda, white vinegar, petroleum jelly, plain white toothpaste, lemon juice, olive oil. These things covered most of what needed covering, and they covered it well. There is something worth holding on to in that approach. Not nostalgia for its own sake, but genuine respect for what is simple, affordable, and proven. This paste cost you about $2 to make. A single tube of specialty metal polish costs $6 to $15 and does one thing. A headlight restoration kit costs $15 to $40. Leather conditioner runs $10 to $20 a tin. If you used this paste for even 3 of the 8 applications I walked you through today, you would have paid for a hypothetical year's worth of specialty products many times over with that $2 starting point. The math is not complicated. It just requires someone to be willing to say it plainly. So here is what I want you to take away from today. This week, find yourself a tube of plain white toothpaste and a small jar of petroleum jelly. Mix a small batch of the paste, a tablespoon of each, and pick one thing in your home to try it on first. A piece of silver, a scuffed shoe, a cloudy headlight. Start small, work gently, and see what you find. If it works the way I am telling you it will, then you will have a simple, inexpensive tool in your cleaning kit that covers a remarkable amount of ground. This month, work through the other applications that apply to your home. Keep a small jar of the pre-mixed paste somewhere handy, the bathroom cabinet, the garage shelf, so it is there when you need it. For a deeper look at the kinds of practical home care methods this channel focuses on, the ebook in the description below is a good place to continue. It brings together a lot of the old-fashioned, sensible approaches that work quietly and reliably, without the fuss or the expense. I want to hear from you as well. Leave a comment below and tell me. Is there a household tip your parents or grandparents swore by that most people have forgotten about? Something they kept on hand? Some trick of the trade that you still use today? Those stories are worth sharing, and I read everyone. Next time, we are going to look at another pantry staple combination that most folks have never thought to try. One that works remarkably well on something in almost every kitchen. You will not want to miss it. If you have not subscribed yet, this is a good moment to do that. I am glad you are here today, and I hope that Sunday morning, that quiet moment at the sink with something you want to take care of, goes a little better the next time it comes around.